So our new study was published in the Journal of the Canadian Chiropractic Association. It was, like I said, the largest sample size ever done, I believe, in a Canadian concussion study. We had over 5,000 athletes, all hockey players, between the ages of 10 and 25 that were participating in their preseason baseline assessments at one of our 250 plus complete concussion management clinic locations. During our baseline preseason assessments, we typically will ask athletes, have you ever been diagnosed with a concussion injury? And from that, the athlete will say yes, no. And if they say yes, we ask them how many concussions they've been diagnosed with in the past. And what we found in analyzing that data and the study that we put together from that is that almost 1 out of every 4 Canadian hockey players will suffer a concussion by the age of 25. So 1 in 4 athletes, by the time they hit age 25, hockey players will suffer a concussion. A smaller proportion of those people will suffer multiple concussions, but the big news here is that almost a quarter of all hockey players will suffer a concussion by age 25. And the exact number that we had was actually 22%. So not quite 1/4, but almost 1/4 of all players. This is also consistent with other data and other studies have been done in this area. So because this injury is obviously prevalent, we decided that we would do an episode just on kind of hockey and concussions in hockey. So I've categorized these things into prevalence and prevention because those are basically the two main things to understand. Prevalence, we kind of just talked about it, right? Our data, like I said, is in line with other studies that have been done on this topic. And actually concussion, if you look at, hockey, if you look at all the sports for the highest incidence of concussion, hockey this is in under 18-year-olds, and this was from a systematic review by Pfister in 2015. They did a systematic review of all the studies looking at concussion prevalence in various sports. Ice hockey ranks number 2 behind rugby. Hockey actually ranks higher than football in terms of concussion incidence prevalence. This is only on one systematic review, and things may have changed since 2015, but at the time, hockey was ranked number 2. So it is a very prevalent concussion sport. When you take a bunch of different sports and you look at all of the injuries in those sports, and then you look at what the prevalence of concussion is in relation to all those other injuries, hockey has the highest prevalence of concussion versus all other injuries. Meaning that if you're going to get injured in hockey, 23% of the time, that injury is going to be a concussion. So almost 1/4 of all the injuries that happen in hockey are actually concussion injuries, right? It's a fast sport, it's full contact, and that just opens the door for potential concussion injuries.